But let's get started with the day. North American League play week 1 for RLCS Season 4. Let's do it. It is FlyQuest versus Rogue with the commentary Wavepunk and Findable Carpet.
It's a beautiful day here in DFH Stadium. The Egg people have packed the bleachers all the way up until the very top of each upper deck. Look at that, just all the way to the top. This play, they are so excited. Yeah, there's 3 decks here to this stadium. DFH is quite a massive place, and we're all ready to see Rogue take on FlyQuest. FlyQuest's league play debut here. Sad Junior's league play debut for Season 4. Guy's been here every single season. Yep. But you and I were talking earlier. We feel like this is the best Sad Junior's looked in a long time.
It's been about 2 seasons since I have been able to re-hop on my Sad Junior fanboy bandwagon. He was one of the more creative players, especially coming Season 1. He had the experience of being a SARP veteran, and just the way he approached the ball was so wild. When he was on a team with Kronovi, the two of them just did the craziest stuff to get the ball to the net, and it was always the prettiest stuff. But it seemed that I don't want to say fell off, because obviously not. He still made it to land like every season. Didn't really matter. But he didn't seem to have that extra, I don't know, that extra little Sad Junior juice, whatever that is, whatever that little grease is that he puts on his wheels before he gets on. But, you know, when we saw him in the play-ins, he really seemed to be coming out of his shell, like has that confidence. He's really going for it. And when I chatted with him a bit too, he seems to feel like this is going to be a season to prove himself, and he's with 2 players that are really complementing his play style.
Absolutely, yeah. And Corrupted G, a player that he played with all of last season on the Nile roster, now picking up Chrome. They had a great play-in, and now their best opportunity to show that they are really here to play in Season 4. Going up against Rogue, who started out the season 1-1, took a victory over Allegiance 3-0 cleanly, and then fell to Cloud9. But Cloud9 also one of the favorites to win everything here. So both these teams with a lot on the line, or a lot to prove. You know, it's league play, right? Every game matters in this situation. You only play one. You only play everybody one time, so every single match can really matter a lot. And so finding your roles and really fitting in as a team and synergizing together early on is important, because you have to get these early wins to make yourself not have to have so much pressure at the end there, you know. And looking at Rogue, Matt and Sizz, a team that's been playing together for a long time. This duo's been together for forever. We've been saying it for seasons now. Picking up Insol, and the question for me is, how does Insol fit into this offensive lineup? Because we saw him, I felt like in the week number 1, that was maybe one of the areas we saw Rogue struggling. How does Insol match up with Matt and Sizz? How do they fit together? So we'll see if they've figured anything out in this week of practice, and we'll get the match underway. Rogue in the orange, FlyQuest in the blue. Our best of 5. First one here for week number 2. Be Insol to the corner, looking for Sizz behind him. Matt following in tow, and there's 3 players now up in the blue for Rogue. Corrupted and Sad Junior will get the small passes and put it back down into the orange. Insol missing the corner, but Chrome and Sad Junior kind of tangled up there on the side. Chrome gets it across the net, but no shooter inbound from FlyQuest just yet. We'll stay scoreless here in the first minute. Insol to touch this one lightly twice, and he's got it past 2. It's just Corrupted G in the back here. They're going to take their time, Rogue does, moving it down the field, and all of FlyQuest will be able to move back onto defense.
Something to note from Sizz as well, no matter what is happening, he's always looking for a teammate. He's always looking for the pass over the shot, and maybe it's just the habits he's developed from playing with Matt, who's just such a strong striker, but he will almost never go for the shot if he notices the pass is a better option.
Sad Junior to move it down the field. Matt to pick it up, but Chrome takes it away from him, and now Insol to move it back down. Matt moving it into the midfield. Corrupted G with a soft touch to take it away from Sizz. Insol plays it back in the middle, but Chrome will pick this one up. And Matt gets that one off of the roller. Gets away from Chrome. Sizz to take a shot towards the net. Goes wide of Corrupted G. Insol in to finish it off, and Rogue's on the board first.
They were able to just turn this quick pressure around. Really just turned into the fact that 2 defenders had to get there quick. Corrupted trying to get a pre-jump, not aware of where Sizz was going to do it. And again, Sizz opting for a pass instead of a shot. There could be an opportunity maybe where you could say he meant to take the shot, but he missed. But I think he had a lot of net in front of him, and instead he went for the backboard, knowing that the player was facing the wrong direction, and opted to give it to a player instead of take the shot himself.
And that'll put Rogue up by 1. Game number 1 here, Sad Junior off the ceiling to drop it back down. Matt thought about moving up, but he'll fall back and allow Sizz to move into goal behind him. Wait till he's got some more support before attacking. G plays it over the top of 1, takes the shot towards net. Sizz and Insolence is a bit of a double commitment on the defense, but they're able to break out of this one, and now Sizz moving upfield, Insol in the back with the ball. Sizz does not find any targets, and that one will go free. Chrome looking for Sad Jr. down the field. Sad Jr. rotated back, actually. This will end up in the corner with Insel. This is on the wall with Chrome. The bump game. Move this one down. Sad Jr. finds a goalie. The shot from Corrupted G coming through there, but not going to find the back of the net just yet. And approaching halftime here. See Matt able to block this one away. Still Rogue with the 1-goal lead. FlyQuest with a few opportunities here to score, but nothing extremely meaningful on the offense. More just kind of playing reactive right now.
Yeah, it feels like they're playing super passive. They're a bit too scared to go up for opportunities because they don't know for a fact if they're going to make anything of it. So they're not going for that hyper-aggressive pressure, which we've seen so many times pull off, especially last week. Instead, they're waiting for a chance for themselves to, to make some more room with the play and actually make some more open midfield passing.
G tried to move this one down the field, but losing ball control in the air feels like it's been a large part of the story here in game number 1. Getting meaningful touches and meaningful clears, but just too strong and not being able to make a follow-up. Chrome to play this one over the top of Matt. Now he's got ball control still on his hood. Sizz falls back. 50-50 goes in Sizz's favor, but Corrupted G able to just pick it up. Put it back into the corner. Sad Jr. looking for the shot. Insolences wins the second touch. Put it into blue, and Chrome has to play it away. Another 150-50 by Insel. Matt will put it into the corner. Sizz will be able to find this one as Chrome missed in the midfield, but now Sad Jr. downfield. Corrupted G moving into the corner with Matt set up in net for Rogue. 1:17 on the clock. FlyQuest yet to score in league play for Season 4. Matt with a dunk over the top of Sad Jr. The pass towards Sizz. Oh, but this is the breakaway. Sad Jr. will put that one in, and we'll have a tie game.
You know it happens. But with a minute left, you really want to make sure it doesn't. Sizz and Insolence is both going up. Insolence had cunt. Insel was coming back and retreating on the side, and I think Iz caught that out of the corner of his eye and started to cheat up. Insel not aware where Sizz was, turned around as well, so they were both facing towards their opponent's half when that ball cleared all the way over them.
And the trail on that ball was orange all the way into the goal.
Whoa!
Oh, and Chrome finds a shot in the midfield. Defense not able to get there. Just like that, FlyQuest has the lead.
This is how FlyQuest is going to turn around Chrome with the split-second decision-making. As soon as Insel tried to clear that out, Chrome was able to hit that right towards net, and now with a minute left, FlyQuest find themselves up by 1, even though they were down by 1 for probably the first 3 minutes.
They now have the 1-goal lead. Sad Jr. in the corner. See if he can possibly pass it out. Corrupted G in to pick it up as Sad Jr. back passed. And so looking for Matt there. With 43 seconds left. Rogue down by 1. He moves down the field. This is a very similar game 1 we saw Rogue have against Cloud9. Rogue got out to an early lead, and then in the last minute or so, Cloud9 was able to score 2 and bring it back. Now Rogue with an opportunity to redeem themselves from that. See if they can tie this one back up. Matt to try and slow this one down. Oh no, Sad Jr. open net, puts it through. The one game here by Corrupted G. Watch him just completely hand this one over to Sad Jr.
Yeah, Matt saw Sad Jr. assuming he'd be the next one to contest, but you notice how quickly Corrupted G had recovered and landed there. And honestly, I like Matt's idea. He figured he'd slow it down, pull out Sad Jr. If he could just beat him in a 1-1 opportunity, it would then be 2-on-1 because he knew Corrupted had just contested that ball, but his recovery was just way too fast.
With these touches from FlyQuest to put these ones high and away from Rogue. With only 6 seconds left and up by 2. It looks like FlyQuest is going to take game number 1 here against Rogue. Rogue had a 1-1 week. Number 1, winning 1 and losing 1. FlyQuest, this is their first match, so they would love to get this week started off, get their league play started off with a clean win, and then remain undefeated here in league play. This is a good way to start out.
FlyQuest with 9 shots compared to Rogue's 5. Don't know what, I mean, I think the accuracy is kind of similar when you look at both sides. Obviously, percentage-wise, it's not perfect, but FlyQuest, it seemed like they were just waiting for opportunities, which seemed to work. It almost is like they felt like, hey, maybe we think Rogue's going to make a couple of critical mistakes.
Sure.
There's going to be some catastrophic mistakes, because all they need is 1. They ended up getting kind of 3-ish.
Sure.
They were able to kind of turn that around last second. To be fair, that last goal, again, Matt knew he was last man back, but if he didn't slow it down, like they only had what, seconds left to score.
He lost he just simply lost a 50-50 straight out, and it was beautifully done by Corrupted G to kind of it wasn't a hard win. The ball just kind of lightly rolls over the top of Matt, and then Sad Junior's like, cool, right here in front of me, easy shot to put that one through. The own goal for goal number 2, which I mean it was a an unlucky pinch in the corner, but technically an own goal, maybe the longest own goal I've ever seen, going from the enemy corner across the entire field.
Yeah, it's always hard. Again, that was like just a split-second decision. Sizz and Insol not understanding where each other were, both turning around to try and put that midfield pressure on, so they didn't give up, the ground that they had gotten. But instead, when they both turned around, they ended up giving up all the ground, and as a matter of fact, into the net as well. That's got to be a little frustrating for Rogue, but I don't think that scoreline was truly how it was going. It really seemed in Rogue's favor for the good first 3.5 minutes of that game. So if they can come out strong, hopefully they can get a win and tie it up for themselves, so they can feel a bit better going through the series.
Pretty neutral kickoff here in the beginning of game 2. Both teams opting for a loose cheat. And Solo put this one onto the backboard. Corrupted G drops this one softly. Chrome has to just get up and get in the way of Insol. Says in the corner, will be looking for Matt in the midfield, but Sad Junior interrupts. Corrupted G looking for the pass into the middle. And it was a nice play to move it down the field and give FlyQuest an offensive opportunity. Chrome and Corrupted G, all 3 players now up for FlyQuest. They'll fall back on the touches from Rogue. Oh, but Matt misses on the wall. Corrupted G's just got to take a nice shot here. Sizz almost gets back in time, but FlyQuest will score first in game 2.
They started with a lot of aggression, but now again, a critical mistake for Matt. Looks like he side flipped when he intended on probably front flipping or maybe not flipping at all. He had the clear, but he just missed it. That is unfortunate for him. FlyQuest, though, they had a lot of really good pressure right in the beginning of that match, and even on the retreat, they were still able to put just enough pressure on to win possession.
Sad Junior to play it down. Off the kickoff, Insol in the corner with Chrome. Double 50-50 going in FlyQuest's favor. Corrupted G puts this one in. Watch Insol in the corner trying to do his best to win this out. 1 touch and then 2, but it does still pinch out in the middle, and Corrupted G punishes.
I mean, he's just trying to bully it. I can't blame Insol at all for what he did, but somehow Corrupted G able to read that pinch, and again, you'll notice that trail was orange, which means that was predominantly off of Insol's car. So the fact that Corrupted G read that so quickly, great on him.
Yeah, good read by Corrupted G, and Insol, just doing as much as he could there in the corner. It's not going to work out. Sizz wins that 50-50 hard. Insol will follow along, doesn't make contact on the wall, but brought Corrupted G up with him. Both Matt and Sizz on top of each other, needing to fall back onto defense. Another thing I noticed, I felt like, about Rogue's play from week 1, their 50-50s were very polarized. They either were winning hard or they were losing hard. Very rarely were they going very neutrally. A team that is very aggressive, it's often how it is. Not going for second touch very often. Corrupted G will look for Chrome. He'll look back to Sad Junior. The shot towards the net, blocked by Sizz, but the follow-up from Corrupted G loosely off the bottom of his car. Blocked away by Matt and Chrome in. Oh my goodness. The pressure here from FlyQuest, you called it 3 goalies up.
And 5 absolutely beautiful touches to each other. All 3 goalies in a full-out panic trying to get that. All 3 of them had that save. Only one of them had to do it. That last shot wasn't that intense. There's a chance they could have saved the final shot, but all 3 of them in a panic freaked out and decided to go for that save, and now 3-0 in favor of FlyQuest.
Assuming they win this game, I'd love to see that again. The way that those guys were able to just so cleanly touch it all together.
Yeah, that passing play was phenomenal.
It just started so early and they just kept it going. Not a single off touch. Corrupted G with the perfect follow through off of the excellent shot from Sad Junior that had to be blocked away. Matt now up the field towards the net. Sad Junior played to the corner. Corrupted G rotates into goal behind him. Sizz looks to keep the pressure on. Insol in the midfield. Insol stays up. Matt wasn't expecting him to, and he kind of committed there. But the shot from Insol was good, and we're going to see FlyQuest have to play a bit of defense here. Double width in front of the net, but Corrupted G will be there afterwards to play it away. Sad Junior and Sizz in front of their own box. Sizz's touch is super light. Sad Junior play this one through and away. Chrome now with Sad Junior in support into the orange corner. Corrupted G underneath 1. Drops it out past Sizz. Sad Junior nearly had a beautiful shot. Chrome in with the follow-up, bouncing crossbar down and out. FlyQuest will remain at just 3-0. But the passing plays and the coordination to get meaningful opportunities on net from FlyQuest right now. Really hurting Rogue. 150 left in game 2. Window of opportunity to come back into this game slowly closing right now for Rogue. Remember, best of 5, got to win 3. Oh, the pass play to Sad Jr. Crossbar down out again, but Corrupted, another soft touch. This time, Insel to play it away, but Chrome in with more pressure. They just know where each other are going to be, and they know where the clears are going to be as well. The pressure right now from FlyQuest, this is beautiful Rocket League, even when they're not scoring.
Where are these passes coming from? And not only are they pinpoint accurate, but they're so fast. I don't know if I've ever seen just any kind of 2-passing play that quick to each other and that accurate. This FlyQuest is something I am so stoked to watch.
They're playing like a beautiful team right now. Oh, and Sizz with an excellent dunk to put this one into the corner. Final minute of game 2, down by 3 Rogue with their backs against the wall here. Quite the comeback to make. Chrome will take another shot. Sizz will block this one away. Coming back from a 3-goal deficit, very, very difficult thing to do. To do with only 43 seconds remaining, nigh impossible. I don't think it's ever been done. Not on the RLCS stage. Sizz will play this one over to the side. Corrupted G to follow it up. He brings Corrupted G up with him. Now Sizz with an opportunity. We saw him pitch a play like that early against Cloud9. Not going to work out for him this time. Well, 24 seconds remaining. FlyQuest on a beautiful passing game. It's going to be able to take game number 2 and be 1 game away from sweeping Rogue at the beginning of week 2.
I mean, you can probably highlight 80% of their attacks. You could highlight any of FlyQuest's attacks in this game right here, and it'll probably make it in the top 5. That was some of the cleanest plays I've seen. And we just look at the shot differential right now. Looking at 7 shots to 10.
Yep.
FlyQuest had a lot of control, but I am almost speechless, which is the amount that FlyQuest were able to seek each other out. And I think it's the pace of it that really caught me off guard. I've seen a lot of great passing plays, but how quickly one person was slamming it out to somebody on the sidewall who immediately just slammed it right back middle, and somebody was already predicting that pass too. I don't know if they're just trying to one-up, like, oh, we know what the meta is, and we're going to show you guys how to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
But this FlyQuest right now is probably one of the scariest things I've seen since RLCS started.
Yeah, well, the one thing we talked a little bit before the match, you and I, about that I felt like Rogue last week had fantastic defensive rotations. They were constantly, they rarely double committing and stuff. We did actually see one time where they all triple committed there, but generally their defensive rotations are pretty strong. It's the clears that they're struggling with. It's actually making the touches really meaningful. And the thing about defensive rotations will defend the counterattack all day. If you're just flying down the field, taking one attack and then falling back, defensive rotations will have you. But if you're making an offensive siege where you're seeing pass after pass and shot after shot after shot, you have to get a meaningful clear to make that go away. And right now, Rogue really struggling when they're in the box to put the ball into the corner or to put it into enemy territory. Right now, there's just kind of lofting in front of the net, and that's what's enabling FlyQuest to take tons of shots right now.
Well, it almost feels like in their head, they're wanting to do just that one step too many that's possible right now. It's in the field. Like, okay, we know we can pass it out. We know we can do the defensive passing plays, but if they're not letting you, then just get one hard clear, break them up, slow them down, gather some boost, and then you can start getting those passing plays. But I feel like you don't want to take that fundamental step sometimes because it feels like a step back in your skill. Sometimes you have to. You have to break up their attack, and you have to get your team some boost.
Now, game 3, the first 2 going in FlyQuest's favor. Rogue needing to win 3 straight to get a victory here over FlyQuest. Game 3 here on Manfield Night. So to play this one down. The shot from Sad Jr. over towards Chrome, blocked by Matt, and it'll go into the orange corner. But Insel and Sizz right on top of each other as they move out. Still an open net. So Matt had to get boost and then rotate in. Sad Jr. looking for Corrupted G. The 50-50 goes in Matt's favorite. Chrome with an awkward flip in the midfield will have to just fly an oblong angle to get that one away.
So I heard you name those 2 players. You said Insol and Sizz, which is just sounded like you're saying insolence is really weird. And I didn't know you were referring to Insol and Sizz.
Oh, these guys. Insolences is notoriously one of the hardest names to pronounce.
Yep.
Especially fast. Insolence, your mouth just like trips over itself. Corrupted G to play that one. And Matt looking for Sizz. Sad Jr. wins the 50-50 and is able to get it into the orange. And Insolences will drop it to Chrome there. Corrupted G. 2 players in the corner. Takes a shot towards the backboard. Insel gets up just in time. Sad Jr. was breathing down his neck to take that shot and get the lead here in game 3. So bounce off the wall. Chrome and Sad Jr. a bit of a double commitment, but they get a nice solid clear to the corner, and Sizz has to play this one away. Matt misses again in the midfield. A touch that would have put it over the front line of FlyQuest and into the corner. Now Ensol looking for Sizz in the mid. Chrome plays it softly back towards Sad Jr., but he's fallen all the way back. Sad Jr. missing on the wall. Sizz is going to punish this one. An interesting situation to give Rogue the lead.
A tight angle from Sizz on a miss from, look, you can see Corrupted just stays down, assuming Sad Jr. is going to get it, but he came out too far, which you don't see very often. And actually, my mind would be blown if Sad Jr.'s intention was to pass it to his teammate in net from that angle. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It sounds like a Sad Jr. thing, but that's what happens when you miss it. And Sizz was actually able to get a really nice angle.
Oh, what? Is this isn't going, okay, it's just wide. It looked like the pitch was actually going to go in from Matt there. Just a completely open backfield off of kickoff. Corrupted and Chrome right on top of each other, but good clear into the corner. Corrupted will look for a touch off of Chrome's pass from the corner. Sad Jr. now pass 1 and 2. Pass Matt as well. Open backfield. Can he get the shot here? He's looking for a pass to Chrome because he knew he wasn't going to be able to turn and put it into the goal before the defenders rotated back. That won't happen this time. Oh!
Matt, you're actually insane.
What happened here? Oh my goodness.
Just watch this touch from Matt. You're insane. You're actually insane.
An insult to fake the defenders too.
That, okay, what happened after Matt's touch we won't speak about, but Matt's touch was one of the cool, like, what a way to find that angle.
Oh, that gives Rogue a 2-goal lead after struggling to score at all. 3-goal lead, okay, so they just got beat 3-0 by FlyQuest in game 2, and now they are up by 3 before halftime in game 3.
They're feeling pretty strong, and these seem to be on defensive mistakes as FlyQuest. That is a kickoff, and prior to that, you know, the defensive whiff because you're expecting someone to come get a touch on it. So they're starting to finally take advantage. FlyQuest, you know, maybe they need to regroup a bit, slow things down.
Corrupted onto the crossbar, Sad Jr. in. Corrupted got a demolition onto the goalie as well, but the shot from Sad Jr. was high. We will stay with FlyQuest scoreless in game 3. Chrome steals a boost, gets a demolition onto Matt, steals the other boost as well. Just going for the full boost star right now. He's picked up 3 large boosts in a row. Chrome and Corrupted play that one away, and Sad Jr. will win the 50-50 to drop it back to Corrupted and Chrome, who again on top of each other. And a bit of double commitments on both sides of the ball for FlyQuest. Sad Jr. looking for Chrome. We'll go back into the middle. Sad Jr. over the top. Corrupted up, and he'll put it into the net. The pass plays again coming through for FlyQuest.
This was just everyone getting beat by this. Chrome beating Matt, Sad Jr. beating Sizz, Ensol not really knowing how to retreat in time, and Corrupted beating him as well. That is individual play at its finest, which turns into team play. They didn't particularly have targets ahead of them, but they were just getting the ball, getting a little more ground each time they touched the ball. Beautifully played.
Yep, and I mean, this is just getting back to what I was saying about the polarizing 50-50s from Rogue. It feels like when they lose 50-50, it's not even a 50-50. Like, they weren't even touching the ball. They were going for the 50-50s, but just getting beaten completely, and it just goes entirely against their favor. And so we'll look for Matt, takes the shot downfield, puts it in, immediately gets their 3-goal lead back.
And there we go, quick and short. Ensol and Matt back and forth to each other. And now it feels like they're starting to play together a bit more as a full triple squad. For a while in the beginning, it felt like Ensol was either like the third wheel or like the guy that like you didn't really, like you were going on a date with somebody, but then like they invited themselves. It was like, you couldn't tell which one, right? Like who was making the true mistake?
It was, oh, can Chrome put this in? He does. More defensive whiffs. There's been a lot of defensive mistakes this game, and it'll be a 2-goal game again.
You want to know what's actually insane? There's only 3 shots for FlyQuest and 4 shots for Rogue. Rogue is a 100% accuracy right now.
Well done.
FlyQuest has only missed a single shot this game.
It was Sad Jr., wasn't it, that missed the shot?
Yep.
No, it was Corrupted G. Okay. Sad Jr., they didn't give him credit for the shot that went onto the backboard. He had a close one. I remember an opportunity there. But a 2-goal game with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Oh dear, Chrome misses again. Matt will put another one in. The defensive mistakes continue.
I wonder if they can come to an agreement to just like, can we write this one off? Like, can we just rematch real quick?
Are both teams okay with the mulligan?
Yeah, just a mulligan this one really fast. But yeah, just to kind of get back to it, I couldn't tell if Insolences was trying to do too much, or if Matt and Sizz weren't letting him do enough, so he was trying to compensate by making sure that they knew he was trying to do stuff like, well, please let me get this.
Yeah.
It was really hard to tell because in the heat of the moment when I just see a double commit, you know, it's hard to think back as many steps as may have resulted in that. But now it finally seems that they're working in pairs. They're not worrying about who that third person is. They're just trusting each other as teammates.
You couldn't tell if he was the tire that was just sitting in the back seat not doing anything, or if they actually put like 2 tires on the same side of one axle, and you're like, this isn't helpful. Why are you here?
Yeah.
It's this particular series, and this game in particular, to see Insol really fitting in here with Rogue. It was something that we talked about at the beginning of the match. It was, what was his offensive identity? When he's in the enemy territory, what is he doing? He seems to be fitting in a lot better. And yeah, Rogue's running away with this one.
Yeah, I mean, stats-wise, he's quiet. He has a single assist right now. Matt has 4 of the shots, and Sizz has 2 of them. So I think that's a little uncharacteristic as well to what he was used to playing with. But again, when you find a duo that plays as well as Matt and Sizz, you don't want to try and interject and mess that up too much, because they have so much, you know, chemistry together. So, you know, how can you be that third? How can you make their skill just better with your skill as well? And I think that's what they're slowly trying to figure out.
Well, that's always been the question. I think my initial thoughts when I heard Insolences was getting picked up by Rogue was you're taking a duo of Matt and Sizz, an offensive duo, and you're pairing them with a very aggressive player of Insolences, when usually if you take a duo, you want to find an anchor or some player who's really good at defensive rotations. Like, that's their play style. Like, Insolences is good at it, but it's not what he likes to do. He likes to be aggressive. So to see them starting to fit together a little bit better here, good stuff from Rogue. They'll take the victory in Game 3, and we got a series on our hands now. Moving into Game 4, it was all Rogue here in Game 3.
So Rogue had 7 shots, and FlyQuest had a single save. Even just looking at those numbers, I'd assume FlyQuest defense, just kind of fell off the handle there. They really just, all their rotations were super messed up. They really didn't seem to be in the places they were. I think, honestly, after conceding like that 4th goal, even when they kind of could have come back, they seemed to just be like, we don't want to deal with it. Like, I think that the struggle to win that was probably just too much pressure and too much energy. Like, well, we've got 2. Let's just go to the next one. We're doing well. You know, we have 2 in the series, but right now it's looking like Rogue, if they can kind of keep this momentum, that's 6 goals in a single game. Yeah, they're looking to ramp up.
Yeah, 6 goals. And like you said, 1 save from FlyQuest. Usually when we see a team like really put on the hurt there, you know, the other team at least has like a decent number of saves. There's like the one stat they actually have a lot of because they had to play so much defense. So to see 6 goals and no defense put up by FlyQuest, I mean, it shows you how much of these goals were being scored on defense. I mean, one save on the side of Rogue as well. Basically, there's just all the goals going in on kind of just poor defense from both sides. So we'll see if they tighten it up here in game number 4. But Rogue making a comeback here, making a substantial one at that. Definitely the most offensive game, highest scoring game we've seen so far, and Rogue takes the victory there. So, game 4, we'll move on to Urban Central. See if we can hear some trains. Matt will move this one into the corner. Insol on the wall, watching Chrome. Both he and Sizz moving up together there. Slight double commit, and Corrupted G will be able to pick this one up by himself. Just Matt in the back right now. Insol is rotated back as well. Sad Jr. shot towards net. Matt to push it straight downfield towards the FlyQuest goal. Chrome plays it past Sizz. Now Matt, strong touch. Sizz with the redirect. You're kidding me. This is beautiful. Well done.
You honestly can't beat anything as pretty as this. Matt out to Sizz, who he even front flipped it to hold his card in the air, make sure he got that touch beautifully under the crossbar. That is a way to kick it off for Rogue.
Oh, you're kidding me. That was amazing. Rogue puts that one in and has the lead in game 4.
Both of these teams. Honestly, this has been one of the prettiest just overall series I've seen in a long time. Some amazing passes and amazing shots from both of these squads.
Gonna try and put that one through. Amazing series, especially if you don't think about game 3. You know, just forget all those defensive whiffs.
I think I do that subconsciously.
You know, that's one of the problems with best of 5s. But Matt will take a shot towards the goal. Chrome to play it away. And so we'll look to keep the pressure on, but actually misses the touch. And now Sizz has to fall back. Chrome's going to go for the air dribble. Can he get it past? The pass out to Corrupted G. Interrupted by Matt. Goes into the corner. But Sad Jr. will keep the pressure on, wrapping this one around, taking it towards the net. It'll be Insol who's able to get it away and relieve the pressure from Rogue. 3:44 left to go, and still 1-0 in favor of Rogue.
And again, right there, looking like Insol was on the wall for that touch, but Sizz insisted on coming from the ground for that hit. A bit more power, but also a bit more boost wasted. And then Insol rotates mid, but Matt's there again. So they really need to let him, define his position. What is he doing? And try and help him out.
Matt was able to play this one into the box. A shot from Sizz was on target, but Corrupted G to save it away. A savior medal already for Corrupted G. Siz will look for Matt in the mid, takes the shot towards the goal, puts it in. 2 defenders not able to do anything about it. Rogue's up by 2.
So Corrupted started with an attempt of a demolition on Matt, which forced him up. I saw all 3 up, but instead it actually put Matt in a better place to take that shot. I'm sure he's a little tilted. I'd be a little tilted. He almost had that, but he still bumped him about, but Matt flipped to recover really quickly, and then he ended up just being in a better place for a shot.
Appreciate it, guys. I'll score, if you don't mind. Oh, dear.
Corrupted was just like, here, you look like you're playing too passive.
Yeah, I'm gonna come on, dude.
Get up there. Come on, get up there, kid.
I believe in you. The pass from Chrome to Corrupted G, intercepted by Matt, and they'll move this one back into the blue. Matt into the corner. Chrome still backwards. Now Sad Jr. on the wall, unable to make a meaningful touch either. Sizzle passes one out to Insolence, is open. Net puts it through. 3-0 Rogue.
So it seems that FlyQuest have just started really completely falling off. Both Sad Jr. and Chrome going for that, and Sad, he wanted that 50-50, and he had a good shot. Knowing he was last man, I think that was his best opportunity to contest. Because the moment he turns around, he's just leaving the net wide open for them to pull it away from him. So instead he wanted to stay behind it, but that corner messed with his play just a bit. The ball separated from him just too much, and it got right past him.
I think part of it might be Rogue strengthening up in the midfield, not allowing as many offensive opportunities. We're not seeing as many of those strong passing plays coming through from FlyQuest. And also, one of the things we were seeing, even when we did have the passing plays, especially in Game 2, was Sad Jr. hitting the crossbar as he comes in as the third. I feel like that's happened a few times in the last game and this one. Oh, there's an opportunity. Can they get there? No. Sizzle play this one away. Sad Jr. thought better of it. Send that one out. But we're across halftime, and Rogue, after winning the last game by 4 goals, the count of 6, now up by 3 in Game 4, threatening Game 5. Trying to make the monumental comeback. Chrome to try and play this one away. Matt in the corner. Plays one out to Insol. Now onto the side there. Insol will look to set it up for Siz. He goes airborne to try and drop it under. Gets cleared away all the way down the field. And Matt in the back will have to play some defense.
I mean, with 3 goals left to score, I think FlyQuest are going to struggle, especially since you said Rogue's midfield defense really has been picking up. They are there to contest a lot of balls. They're getting in the way of a lot of these opportunities that FlyQuest are trying to make. And as we saw from their passing,
ooh, the pass plays again. This time Insol finding Siz in the midfield, fitting into that offense, and now Rogue's up by 4.
It feels like FlyQuest is trusting that side just a bit too much, but Sad Jr. reacted as quickly as he could. To be honest, there's not much else he could do. The moment he saw that coming out, he started boosting out towards the mid, but Siz was just closer than him, and he had the tight angle on him. It feels like maybe they're trusting too much in the corners. It's tough at the moment to see exactly what's going wrong, because it feels like Rogue really are just putting on the pressure.
Yeah, and I do feel like that's a more likely. Corrupted G will finally get a goal in here for FlyQuest. They'll need 3 more if they want to make this a competitive game. But my guess would be it is more on the Rogue side of things than it is on the FlyQuest side of things. I can't imagine FlyQuest getting up by 2 and being like, oh, let's just start making defensive mistakes, you know? Or it's really Rogue not allowing them to play as well as they were in games 1 and 2 by playing faster, tightening things up, and being able to keep the ball in enemy territory here. So now up by 3. Rogue's just got to hold on to this for a minute longer, and they'll be able to force us into Game 5. Says to play this one up. Matt will look for him as well. 2 players, oh my goodness. Even when they double commit, that's a hat trick for Siz. They're still able to put this one through.
Right now, Rogue is just a fantasy dreamland with the amount of goals that they've been putting up in this series. And I can see FlyQuest's ideas, but again, they're taking them too slow now. They're going for kind of that I'm gonna pass this in your general direction, but it's up to you to kind of get to and redirect it, as opposed to being like, here, this is yours. Now we're gonna try and think 1 step ahead.
Matt will look for Insolences. Oh, he nearly drops underneath, can't find it. Siz hangs in the back. So Matt and Insol rotate up on the offense. There comes Siz in.
Uh-oh.
Chrome just sitting in net. Not happy with how this game's going, it looks like. Down by 4, I wouldn't be either.
Don't know, that's a great way to continue on with the series, but hopefully it's I'm hoping it's a connection issue.
Yeah, it looks like his connection was maybe okay.
Whoop, yep, he left.
Oh, there, he's done.
That's an AFK leave, maybe?
Maybe.
Does it do that in private lobbies?
It's possible he's also just going to, I don't know, he could go, he's like, I'm just going to go get a cup of water. You know, and just take a little bit of extra time here. We've clearly lost this game.
I gotta go to the bathroom real bad, guys. I'm going to use this. It's going to be longer than a second, so I'm just going to use the other half of this game to use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I need longer than the minute in between games here. We'll definitely make sure he's back and flying, or FlyQuest at least has a full 3v3 roster by the time we get into Game 5. But Game 5, we have Rogue, after dropping Games 1 and 2 pretty cleanly, come back in Games 3 and 4 here. And Game 5, dare we say reverse sweep carpet?
Dare we? I don't like saying it anymore, and people got mad. By the way, he did DC.
Okay.
I can see Chad in my special little corner over here. And it appears that Corrupted G has confirmed that he's DC'd. But before I say anything too much, we'll wait for admins and do whatever. But they're going to wait a little bit for him to reconnect. Hopefully he gets it all sorted out. Luckily, that game was already kind of a wash.
Yeah, I don't think it was going to change
disconnect. It's a good time to disconnect is when you're down by 4. Yeah,
I was looking at him. I was like, it literally could have. I saw him sitting in the net. I'm like, it could be a DC, or it could honestly be him just like, this game's over. Like, there's no. Why am I trying right now? You know, because they were down by 4. 4 is the largest comeback that has ever happened in RLCS history, and it did not happen with like 40 seconds left. They had like at least half the game to come back. So yeah, these guys definitely putting on the hurt there. You mentioned it. Sizz is a dream machine right now. If you have him on your fantasy teams there, I have Matt on mine, and he kind of came out in the bottom this game, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, not last game.
Yeah, you and I were talking about this before, where like sometimes with a few of these teams, especially with how rotational the meta is right now, being like, who do you put on your team? It's like, it's just who has the best day, and right now it's Sizz.
I mean, but I think game before that, Matt had like 5 goals. So
he probably did.
Don't worry, if you've got him on your team, I think you're doing pretty well. What I fear for FlyQuest is, yes, I know that Rogue seems to have picked up the pace and is really ramping into some more speed, but there are still double commits that we've seen from Rogue. Plenty of times we've seen Insol and Sizz up together, Matt and Sizz. What are all the possible combinations? I think I only missed one more. Well, whatever.
Math.
And FlyQuest is still struggling to find those, and to find that result, like, what is it? Are they thinking too hard and trying to space out in a way where they're not able to punish? Because that's a big part of it. If you're going to space out to try and make your own plays, that means you're not particularly playing the counter to them. If they maybe have a chance where you can just counter it immediately and just chase them down the field. But if you're spaced out a lot, you're not going to have that. You're just going to be like, oh, we're looking for our own passes instead. But I think we get to watch the beautiful, beautiful redirect.
Oh, we do?
I think we do.
Oh, let's do it.
Pretty sure we do. Let's check it out. I think this is that Sizz touch.
Oh, this is the very beginning of the game.
Doink.
Look at that. Straight in.
I mean, that's how he opened up the game.
I saw the pass happen, and I was like, Sizz is up, right? And then I see him go up. I'm like, no. Oh my goodness, can't believe it. Matt and Sizz. That's when you are the longest standing duos, like doubles duo, in existence basically at this point. Other than maybe Marky Duda and Cookser, like that's the stuff you can pull off.
And what makes that nuts, and putting that on target, I think any person on the field could have put that towards the net.
Towards the net,
It's where it was. It was like just under the crossbar. It kept so much speed. And generally, you don't flip in a situation like that because you're going to be scared of popping it up because your car starts to tilt forward a bit too much and you're going to catch the ball early. But he flipped at just the perfect moment to hold his car in the air. Because, again, little Rocket League 101 moment. While you're flipping, your altitude will not change. You don't go up, you don't go down. While you're in the middle of your animation, you will always remain the same altitude. You can test it by going on the wall, drive straight at the ground, and then jump off and flip, and you won't hit the ground. But anyways.
Well, and FlyQuest is not going to be positioning to and defensively thinking about Sizz. Like, he's driving out of their corner back towards his own half, and it's like, he's not a threat. There's no, I don't need to think about Sizz right now, what he's going to do. But then when he flips up, going back again towards his own net, flips just over this way, and then sends the ball backwards. It's like, what are you going to do? Those plays are so deadly because they're just, nobody's thinking about them because you don't seem like you're a threat at all.
And the better the players get, the more they become a threat from anywhere at any angle. The more that you can become a threat if your car's facing backwards, upside down, sideways, you're on the wrong side, you're on the ceiling now. Everything's a threat at this point, so now you have to be so aware of where everyone is. It's going to be to the point where if like someone's in our half, we either blow him up or we get in the way of this pass because this guy's going to be a threat. And Rocket League is becoming that kind of thing where every single player, no matter where they are, is some sort of threat on the pitch.
Yeah, now, so thinking about Game 5 here, Rogue has won 2 straight. They have the momentum on their side, and they won those 2 games in a slobber-knocking fashion, just able to completely dominate FlyQuest. And thinking about what does FlyQuest need to do to make this an even game again, to bring this back, we actually really haven't seen many even games. Game 1, we saw Rogue score first, and then we saw FlyQuest come back. That was about the most even game we've seen, but other than that, it's been kind of blowouts on either side. For me, thinking about what FlyQuest needs to do, I think they need to really focus on their 50-50 game and focus on like the solo 1v1 mechanical plays, because they're very, very aware of where each other are on the pitch right now, but it feels like they're getting outplayed a bit on the 1v1 department, and they're losing those opportunities they were creating in games 1 and 2.
I mean, I think they should do what they originally were doing, which was waiting for Rogue to make the mistake. We've still seen them, even in games when Rogue is winning, we've seen them double commit. We've seen a couple mistakes here and there and a couple of massive whiffs. That's where FlyQuest are still sneaking those goals in here and there because there's a huge whiff somewhere on the side of Rogue. Maybe just play a bit more patient. Understand that you're going to be on defense for a while. Don't try and get out of your half too quickly. Like, you know, we're going to play defense. We're going to get the 50-50s. We're going to gather some boosts. We'll get a couple hard clears here and there. Give up possession. That's okay. We'll gather the boost. But the moment you see double commit, that's when you start your attack, because then their entire rotation from there on defense is going to be handicapped. Because once you attack when they're in the wrong positions, then each save after that is going to be like just an extra amount of boost they have to use, because they're all having to panic from that first save you have to make. So that's when you make your attack as opposed to too early. To be fair, I can see why FlyQuest wants to do it earlier, because my God, are some of the passing plays almost like unblockable because of how quick they were. So, I mean, I think in a situation like this, when you've just lost 2 in a row and pretty heavily in the last 2, you probably just want to play it safe, play it clean, and just wait for your teammates to make a mistake.
Yeah,
or opponents. Don't wait for your teammates to make a mistake.
Well, we will see how they're able to play here as we get Game 5 underway. The winner of this game right here takes the win in the match. And after dropping games 1 and 2, we've seen Rogue come all the way back and force this decisive Game 5. They've brought it all the way. They've got this one last step to make the comeback happen. Sizz in the air will try to find the goal, but it goes a bit high. Insel will keep the pressure on. Back into the box. Matt's there, and this time it goes out again. Insel over to the side. It even crossed into the net, but it bounced crossbar post and then back out. And now Corrupted G with the clear will send that one away. FlyQuest be able to keep a clean sheet here in the first minute.
That was a difficult angle for Matt, but he must feel a bit cheated. That was so close, and now great drop down, but Corrupted easily popping that out.
Sends it away. Insel and Matt, midfield there. Matt with a pass out to Sizz, nobody in net. Sizz will finally put this one in. I said they'd stay clean in the first minute. Spoke too soon there. 4:03, Rogue strikes.
Barely, but there again, Sad Jr. and Chrome both going for that. Chrome backflipping. I can't tell if it was either an input error or him trying to bail on that, knowing he's like, oh no, wait, I just noticed Sad Jr.'s here in the corner. I need to get back. But there it is. That is them getting too antsy to get out of their half. Just understand, you're going to have to play defense for a bit. It's all right. It's all right. You're good enough. You guys can do it.
Corrupted G on the side. We'll find Sad Jr. in the midfield. He'll send it towards the goal, but it's off the ground and soft, so Matt gets the clear. Chrome rotates into the corner, and he'll look to play this one out, but Matt winning that 50-50, dropping it near the box. Corrupted G into the midfield. Insel and Sizz right on top of each other, but Sizz gets a clear into the corner.
Insel and Sizz.
Insel and Sizz. Sizz and Insel. I'll have to flip it around. We see 3:30 left here. Matt looking for Insel in the mid. Corrupted G interrupts, and now Chrome with ball control. It's just Sizz in the back. The 50-50 goes more or less in FlyQuest's favor, but Insel will take it away from Sad Jr. Corrupted and Chrome. And then enemy territory. Sizz will look to play this one down. Sad Jr. the soft touch into the middle. Insel moves up to take a shot. 50-50 goes in his favor, but it's soft, and Sad Jr. rolls it away. And now he's got Corrupted G to pass to. 2 players going up. And Chrome. Both playing very patiently there. Matt will win it out. And 2 players up on the backboard. Corrupted G with the soft touch into the midfield, and Insel will look to find Matt. He'll take the shot towards the net, off the crossbar and down. Insel's shot is blocked by Chrome, and Sizz will keep the offense going. Corrupted G to pinch it away, and it's all the way into the orange corner. FlyQuest again able to hold on the defense.
The angles that Rogue are starting to find are really going to start freaking some teams out going through the RLCS. They are finding the shots that very, very few teams can execute consistently, but we've seen it all series long. Rogue can put on the shots.
Sad Jr. over 1. Into the corner, Chrome will pinch it into the middle. Soft touches. Ball remaining pretty slow. Matt will demolish Corrupted G in the 1 position. It means Sad Jr. has to move up. And Chrome can be aggressive. Making a shot towards the net. Insel saves it away, and a good clear. We talked about Rogue struggling a bit on the defensive mechanics. We see Insel with a solid clear to break up the offensive siege. Matt will pick this one up, played across the field. Insel falling back again. You can see Insel, he's itching to move up right now.
Yeah.
He's been zoned out a few times by his own teammates in a proper defensive rotation. But this one, Sad Jr. Oh, he pitches it off the post. Matt, oh, it goes high. It doesn't go in, and Insel's not able to send this one through. It looked like a Rogue was going to have a breakaway and go up by 2. But Sad Jr. able to play it off of his own post.
Right now, Rogue has 9 shots.
Oh,
Wait, 9 shots to only 2 for FlyQuest. They really are struggling at all, but that also means that Rogue's accuracy is a little bit loopy right now. We've seen so many close shots. This could be a much larger spread game.
Matt looking to shoot it in again. Again, you talked about the offense is all there in this one. Finally goes in. Is able to put in just kind of a slow roller to make it a 2-0 game, but so much pressure put up here by Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, even from that last shot that we saw get close, they haven't let up pressure at all. They've been on the attack this entire time. FlyQuest constantly having to think on their toes to try and play defense and gather boosts at the same time, but eventually they will cave, and Rogue will be up 2-0.
2-0 in Game 5. They've won 2 already. And this third game, this third win here, could be the reverse sweep. Something we saw happen a decent number of times in Season 3, but yet to happen in Season 4 despite a few opportunities. See if Rogue can be their first reverse sweep of the season. FlyQuest, man, and just how demoralizing does it have to be to know that you had that game, you were 1 game away from winning this 2 games ago. And now you are, again, having to play from behind. 30 seconds remaining. They need to score quickly. They want to be able to equalize. And Matt, that's just 2 players missing again for FlyQuest. cryptG has a subpar clear here in the corner. 18 seconds remaining for FlyQuest to get down the field. cryptG will pass back to Sad Jr., but the 50-50 is just so strongly in Rogue's favor right now. And as the final countdown happens, it's do or die for FlyQuest. This one going over the top of 2, over the top of Chrome, and that will be the ball game. Rogue with the reverse sweep of FlyQuest here in Week 2.
With both some of the most interesting, I almost want to say lacking defense for both these teams, but also some of the greatest offensive plays from everyone on this pitch right now. As much as this was probably a bit frustrating for FlyQuest's debut here in the RLCS Season 4, they still went to Game 5 against Rogue, who was a team that was invited back because they were top 2 seeds in last season's league play. So obviously this is not the, you shouldn't beat yourself up too much, and I know they have a new roster, but they are unbelievable at putting on the shots. And FlyQuest in general, some of the passing plays we saw early on are so promising to what I want to see out of them, but it really just felt like Rogue by the end of it, they felt more in control, and FlyQuest seemed to be getting more intimidated as the series went on.
Yeah, the mechanical skill coming through for Rogue as they're able to get the victory here. Took them 5 games, took them a reverse sweep, but they pull it off, and what a story there from Rogue as they improved to 2-1 here in RLCS League play. That's been a great game. We've got a bunch more in store for you, but for that and more, let's head back to the desk.
Yeah, what an awesome start to today there. Our first best of 5 going all the way to 5 games. Not only that, a reverse sweep. And I feel like there's a lot to unpack from that one because that was a match where FlyQuest came out super hot. They're up 2-0. I'm like, all right, this might be over. This might be a sweep. But then Rogue able to make the comeback happen and make the reverse sweep a reality. So guys, let's break this down as we take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay. Rogue, the nice 3-2 victory there over FlyQuest.
So in Game 1, I thought Rogue was actually playing better for the first 4 minutes of the entire game. And then FlyQuest just steals the game. And I was like, uh-oh, bad news for Rogue, because you never want to give away a win. And they gave away this win in Game number 1 with a face-off goal, some really bad misses. And honestly, that continued a bit for both teams. Just some weird misses from Rogue in Game 2 as well. Matt completely missing on a defensive play. Sizz just missing on like a quality shot attempt, just not even hitting the ball. Finally, though, Rogue wakes up in Game 3.
Yeah, a lot of it had to do it. Like we talked about it, me and Axtos both went in favor of Rogue. Don't forget, buddy. You got that.
It went 5. I'm fine with my pick.
But we talked about it at the very beginning. It's going to be in 5. It's going to be a close match, but none of us expected it to be like this. A lot of unconventional whiffs, like both sides of the field. Double commits, Chrome some places completely out of position. You saw Matt just completely whiffing altogether. It's like it was everywhere, and for some reason, it just happened. Okay, Game 3, Rogue is going to wake up. Sizz is going to have the game of his life in Game 4, and they just carried it through the rest of the way.
Yeah, Sizzin Game 4 played amazing. Insane. He had the great deflection, 2 great passes, got a hat trick as well. Right. So that Game 4 was all Sizz there. FlyQuest, it just seemed like the open field passing just didn't work anymore. Like as the series went on, and every single game, it felt like they were trying for a wall pass from the corner, and they could never connect on it. Like not even close. They kept throwing it right in front of net. Rogue's just sitting there waiting for a clear, and then they get the clear, and they're on the offensive side. So FlyQuest has to go back to the drawing board a bit on those wall passes.
Yeah.
But they played pretty well for games 1 and 2. Like take that and move forward, but they have to play later on today, and that was their debut, so they still have plenty of games to play.
Yeah, our 4th match of the day, Rogue is playing against NRG, and our last match of the day will be Cloud9 against FlyQuest. So it's still a little bit of time for these 2 teams to make their adjustments and get their communication going, and for FlyQuest turning things around. But with 2 victories there, they've got to be feeling a little bit good. It's not like it was a sweep for them. But I'm looking at Twitter, and honestly, I'm looking at the subreddit a little bit for questions. And I found a question from Mr. Vincent17, and there's a live report thread on the Rocket League subreddit. He's asking about Rogue and the change with Insolences and Turtle. What do you guys think about Insolences, and how do you see this new team compared to the old Rogue, and is it okay for them?
So I was actually talking to Chrome last week about Insolences, and he's like, I felt like his shots were better when he was pulling like maybe 16 hours in 2 weeks compared to now he's pulling like 90 hours in 2 weeks. But he's saying that Insol's still a quality player. It just seemed like his offense was better. His defense is probably better now. And it seems like he's trying to work more inside a team. It seems like Insol is trying to come back from last season where he felt kind of bored.
Yeah.
Like it's possible just like team chemistry wasn't there with Chrome and Classic. So Insolences, he brings a new spark to that team because obviously the offseason they had to do something.
I feel like he's just trying to emulate like Jacob. Every single aerial he had for a touch was upside down. Don't know why.
Yeah, just like a lot of players
more
do tend to do
I mean,
it.
Sed Jr. learned to aerial upside down first, too. Like,
yeah,
Oceania was that way, too. It's just a comfortability thing. But for him to be upside down, I don't feel like he feels comfortable in his role yet, or his role's been defined yet for the team. But when all 3 of them are just interchanging, you saw that. The passes with Sizz and Insol inside, Matt and Sizz, Sizz and Matt. Like, anytime they can interchange it and get everybody involved, they do look really strong. The pressure is completely different. And I think that was the difference between games 1 and 2, is none of them were pressuring. They just didn't know who was going to take that cohesion. As soon as they did, the pass plays from FlyQuest completely stopped, and everybody got involved, and then we saw 5-6 goals in that one game.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of he has to find where he feels comfortable or how he's going to fit in, and then we can really see the Rogue that we're going to see.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to see how both these teams adjust moving forward in the day. Again, they both play a little bit later, and of course to see how they grow as the season goes along, as this is only week 2. But that wraps up match number 1. We got 4 matches coming your way on the North America broadcast today on twitch.tv/Rocket League. Coming up next, we have your defending regional North American champions, love watching them, NRG, going up against Ghost. It's their debut in RLCS Season 4. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with some more high-level Rocket League.